What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, a few days ago we did end up getting the Made in Japan Volume 2 Rivals Board article. When I was doing the video on that, I was legit reading through that, legit shocked, man. Like, it looks so dang awesome. But I did actually want to touch on this playlist in this video and why I think it is so dang important. And I really do feel like this can actually be a true benchmark into the future of the playlist in Motorfest. Now, the reason why I do say that is we all do know right now it seems this playlist out of all the other ones is probably going to be the best playlist we have ever gotten in the game, man. I would actually say the second best one, at least when it does come to like event-wise, is probably going to be the Donk vs. Lowrider playlist because of the amount of events in that one, and not necessarily due to the fact that players like the events, but we can agree there was a good amount of events in that entire playlist. Now, the reason why I did want to talk about this, though, is we can all agree in a certain way that, well, the playlists in the game do seem to be kind of forgotten once you actually do them. The biggest thing, though, is the new Japanese playlist, though, guys, like the Made in Japan Volume 2, looks like it is legitimately going to be so much different than the other ones. The reason for that is we're going to have events, side activities, challenges, a custom mode, which I can't wait to see what that's about, and also the rivals. The reason for this is going to add so much replayability to the actual playlist itself, and I feel like a lot of players are truly going to love it. On top of that, guys, there is going to be 16 different rivals in the actual game mode, and there's also going to be a mystery one once the actual ones are completed. So keep in mind there's going to be 16 rivals, then after that there's going to be a boss rival in all of those, which is going to be 4 more, making it 20. Then we're also going to get the last one after that, making 21 actual rivals there. That is a lot of content, man. You're talking about 21 of those, the events, the side activities. Like, bro, I am absolutely loving what they're doing with this. And I do feel like having more playlists like this, like I do know they can probably take a while. In that way, it's actually going to keep players occupied for such a longer period of time when the new playlists do end up coming out. Now, you know what? Speaking of this, though, I did want to run something by you guys. Let's just say every season we actually get a new playlist just like the Made in Japan Volume 2. What I mean by that is they're actually going to be packed full of content, let's say more rivals, different things you can do like newer events and stuff like that in them. Have all kinds of stuff in a big playlist every single season that actually comes out. So, for example, we're going to have 6 and 7 after this one, or even 8 or something like that. But why not have a big playlist every time a new season does start, and then the other 3 months after that have smaller playlists that are added? Now you're probably like, bro, what are you talking about? So you guys know how every single playlist has something like the side activities or the challenges and stuff. Why not add smaller playlists every single month that just have events in them? That way we're actually going to have newer events for off-roading, newer events for planes. And I feel like if they were to add smaller playlists like that with maybe smaller storylines in them, and not all kinds of challenges and other stuff that goes into like the coding of it, maybe they can actually get a lot more of those said playlists out. But every time we have a new season, have a huge playlist like the Made in Japan Volume 2. I feel like that would be dope, bro. And the best part about it, though, is we would get so many new races every single season. Like, think about that, guys. One big playlist the beginning of that month. The other 2 or 3 months until the next season starts, we get smaller playlists. Maybe each of them can have 10 or 12 events in each of them. Guys, you're talking 50 plus races every season being added, man. Like, it would be action-packed. You'd have all kinds of rally events, rally raid, even motocross in there. Then you'll have plane events, boat events, and then all those races are then going to stem into something like grand races, all kinds of new routes, and then having the summits being a bit more mixed up. I really do feel like that could be such a great way to do it. And on top of all of that being said, we're also going to have more rival racing replayability in the new playlist. In this, guys, I'm going to read this small snippet again because it's legit insane. As I did mention earlier, though, you're going to have various difficulty levels and rewards. I'm actually going to touch on how that might actually work here in a second. Then it's going to say you can actually improve your times by replaying these missions and securing better rewards. Now, here's the thing, though, about that. I actually feel like they might take the Crew 2 approach. You might be wondering, well, what do you mean? We all do know right now in Motorfest that there is going to be a difficulty slider for the events. It's going to be level 1 to level 5, right? The issue, though, is if you are on level 1 or level 5, the only increase you actually get is XP, which honestly does not make any sense to me, bruh. Why don't they actually have a small money multiplier on there like it was in the Crew 2? You had normal, hard, and ace. I'm thinking they might actually do something like that with this playlist. That would make a lot of sense, and I would have so much fun going through every single rival event. Again, that's going to be 21 of them, to where you can actually bring up the difficulty, make the race harder, maybe get additional money and XP, and who knows, they might have other rewards in there. And also, what's a bit crazy to me though, now I will show the screenshot of this again in the background because I am so dang hyped up. You're talking about 4 new vehicles and tires tied to this entire rival board, and there's also going to be a mystery reward that can be another car, bro. So we're talking about having various difficulty and extra rewards. 4 new vehicles tied to a single playlist, bro, if that's actually what I'm seeing on this. That is going to be the craziest thing I have ever seen, man. We all do know we're actually getting like 1 car per playlist, at least before anyway, and I do feel like this is going to be a great way to do the playlist design. I feel like a lot of players might look at this and go, yo, we definitely need more playlists like this. Even one playlist like this, as I mentioned, every single season. Apparently, one of the seasons is actually going to be based on Red Bull. Now, I'm not saying they have to copy this playlist that's coming out with how it has like rivals and stuff, but what if they actually did something similar in the Red Bull playlist itself? For example, let's say they actually add another 21 rivals into it. Well, how would it work? What if you actually have like a racetrack one? What if you have to go against like Mad Mike or something in like a drift car? Y'all cannot tell me right now that would be so insane. Like, I feel like everybody would be like, yo, these are going to be legit the best playlists we have ever seen every single season. I really hope they do end up doing that. Like, I'm so dang hyped up to play this in December. And I'm also insanely hyped up for the new update coming in November, where we actually get to do the chase squad itself. That's still going to be incredibly fun. And then the month right after that in December, we're getting an insane playlist like this one. And I do know for a fact right now, everybody is probably similar to I am right now, getting so dang hyped up for this. Like, my goodness. And I really do feel like, guys, that's legit going to be the best approach to it. They do want to put more content in the game. They actually want to make this game better, right? The best way to do that, legit give us a big playlist like this one at the beginning of each season. After that, give a smaller playlist, get rid of like the side activities and the challenges, and just put a bunch more events into the game. That's all they have to do. I feel like that's going to be one of the best ways to add content to it, and that way it's also going to cut down a ton of time on actually making a full playlist with like a story, challenges, and all that crazy stuff to it. And I do feel like taking that approach is not only going to make everybody excited, but I do feel like it's actually going to make the playlist a lot more fun because of the amount of new events that we would end up getting. Overall though, guys, I want to know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about the rival board that's coming with the 21 new rival races, the new cars tied behind that, the new rewards, the various difficulty, and the Made in Japan Volume 2 playlist overall in the comments below. And this new approach they're actually taking with this playlist really does get me so dang hyped up. It's not only going to have a lot more content and things to do in it, but it's also going to have a lot more rewards and a lot more replayability. Let me know again, guys, what you think about this in the comments below. And at this point, I feel like the hype is not only building for this November update, but the entirety of Year 2 for Motorfest.